You know, there are so many problems in the world. I mean, we can't even begin to list them sometimes. And sometimes I get a little overwhelmed and saddened by all the problems. But the magic bullet, the thing that just saves me whenever I'm feeling that way, is I just go out in my backyard or come to the botanical gardens or somewhere in nature and I watch the birds. And it's like magic. I mean, it literally can put me in another space.
They're definitely a little low.
Yeah, a little low.
So this is where we kind of start our routine of feeding the birds. For one thing, it always makes me think of my mother, Mary Beth Mulholland, because she started this, and we kind of do this in her memory, but we also, of course, do it for the birds, but it's a way of communing with my mother's memory. The Botanical Garden of the Ozarks has been a real important part of my family's history, you might say. My father was director of the Botanical Garden back when it was just in its infancy, and my mom was kind of the queen of the volunteers. All these feeders were in my mom's backyard at one time, and then when she moved into a nursing home, she decided to bring them all here. This thing will be, sometimes it's gone. Like, where'd it go?
I think it's Bigfoot.
This is really decadent. This is almost like trail mix. Most people would be happy to have that for dinner. The birds love it. And it's got some fruit in it. But the reason for that is because there's a lot of birds that we pull in here that wouldn't come otherwise. The years that my mother was in a nursing home, we would go pick her up and bring her over here and we would feed the birds together. That's enough to keep for maybe another few days. Family has been loading these feeders for about 7 or 8 years now, and we're constantly learning what the birds like and their preferences. Yeah, this has 2 different kinds of seed in it, and the white millet they have no interest in.
It's right there. There's a chickadee.
There's the chickadee saying its name. Chickadee, dee, 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 dee. There it goes. Donna wrote this song we call Chickadee about how with all the problems in the world, sometimes you just need a way to get away from all that. And one way to do that is just to go out and look at the birds and just observe the birds. And the chickadee is a good example. It's such a sweet little bird. It has a beautiful call that is not well known to most people. Most people are familiar with the way it says its name. Chickadee, dee, 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 dee. Chickadee, dee, 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 dee. But actually, it has a piping song as well that it sings when it's more in the love mode. And it's a very beautiful thing. I can kind of make the sound. They don't do it this time of year. It goes. So Don and I took that little da-da-da-da and used that as a musical theme in this song that we call Chickadee. Sometimes this world closes in on me, all the tragedy I can't take it. At times like that, I just slip out back and I watch the birds just like magic. Sing chickadee so innocently, for the fires of war are still burning. Let your song comfort me, chickadee. Sometimes my list of details is just overflowing, and I can't win, I need rest. At times like these, I fall down on my knees. Mother Nature wraps her arms all around me. Sing, mockingbird, please don't utter a word about the troubles of the world, 'cause I'm resting. Let me curl up beneath your wings while you sing. Redbird, come around, speak to me of stillness. Sparrow, take me down into your nest. Sing, whippoorwill, till the night has grown still and the fire in my soul has turned to embers. Comfort me with a song I will remember. Sing, chickadee, so innocently, for the bells of war are still ringing. Let your song comfort me, chickadee. Chickadee, dee, 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 chickadee. Chickadee, dee, 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 chickadee. right. Birds are fed. Fatten them up a little bit for winter. Pretty soon the cardinals will be here, and then the downy woodpecker will be here. And it's just like clockwork.